Our nation's going to break it down.
No, you good, you good.
All right, now, the book of John, chapter 8, verse 4. It says, they say unto him, Master, this woman has taken adultery in this very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned.
Oh, you hear that? They knew the law. You hear that? They said Moses in the law says such should be stoned.
Right.
You say you don't believe in that.
It's the New Testament. Right. It's the New Testament, right? Now, it says, but what sayest thou?
They said, what do you say, Jesus? Read.
This they say, tempting him. But they might have to accuse him. But Jesus just stooped down with his finger, wrote on the ground. So while they're talking to him, he's on the ground just writing something on the ground.
Now, what do you think Jesus was writing on the ground?
He was, we could speculate, it doesn't say, but we could speculate he was writing their sins.
Right.
No, he wrote something secret
yeah,
for them to see.
But it didn't say.
It didn't say.
He was writing. While he was listening, but he was stooped down writing something.
We could speculate he was writing their sins. He could write, this guy is a thief.
Right.
This guy by the name of such and such did this last night. This dude did this. So when they saw it, they was convicted. Oh shit. How does he know that? And they left. But keep reading though. I'm going to show you. Read on.
But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. And when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and he said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast the stone at her. So what he's telling them, that okay, whoever didn't sin,
right,
cast the stone on her. Kill her with the stone. Alright? That's what he's telling them.
So now that makes them what? Sinners.
Listen, he's giving them permission.
Oh, okay.
The Lord's Son is giving them permission. Those who did not sin, cast a stone on her. Okay? And again he stooped down and he wrote on the ground. And they which heard it being convicted by their own conscience. Alright? So now they're like, wait, I'm a sinner. I did this, I did that.
And he's writing on the ground. What do you think he's writing on the ground? More likely he was writing their personal sins. Read on.
And it says, it went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone. So right now, from the eldest to the youngest, right? They walking away.
Right.
They're walking away one by one.
Right.
They know each sooner have sinned, right?
Right.
Now, keep reading. Keep reading. I ain't finished yet. And when they continue, and again they stooped down and wrote on the ground. And which they heard it being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yahawashi was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Yahawashi had lifted up himself, and he saw none of the women, none but the woman, and said unto her, Woman, where are those thy accusers? So Yahawashi telling the woman that he stooped down, he said it was gone, but her, he said, where's the accusers to accuse you of this adultery? Right? Keep reading. He says, Woman, where are those thy accusers? Have no man commanded thee? So he said, no women, the accusers have not killed you, have stoned you. Okay? Keep reading. He said, no, man, Lord. And Yahawashi said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
That's very important what the Son of Man told her. What did he tell her? Read that again.
No, he says, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
What is sin?
Now, it states that go and sin no more. That means that he has shown that you shouldn't kill somebody.
No, what is sin? What is sin? What is sin?
I'm going to go to it right now.
The sin is adultery, right?
No, what is sin according to the Bible? See, there's a lot of things you don't know, brother.
The thing you do wrong is a sin.
No, sin is what...
We're going to break it down for you right now, see?
The sin is anything...
What is Jesus Christ telling her? We're going to read.
Sin is transgression of
Read it.
law.
Read it.
The law of God.
Read it for him.
What? But the law of the Most High.
Read it for him. Read it for him, Mark. We're going to read it. We're going to prove it. First John 3 and 4.
Okay. The book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Whosoever committed sin, transgresses also the law.
The law. Read on.
For the sin is transgression of the law.
So what is Jesus Christ telling a woman? Don't break God's laws anymore. Right. That's what he's telling her.
So now the law of God is the 10 Commandments.
It's more than the 10 Commandments.
Brother, we just read you. They said according to the law of Moses, she's supposed to be put to death.
Right.
The Ten Commandments tell
That's a Moses law. That's not God's law.
no, that's God's law. We just read it to you. He said
He gave the law to Moses to give to the children of
So
Israel.
why did he just stop these people from killing the woman?
because he had mercy on her for that. And the reason why too, get Matthew 23. This is gonna break it down.
Oh,
The reason why Jesus Christ had mercy on the woman, we're gonna read to you right now. Read in Matthew 23. The Son of Man came the first time to show mercy, man. That was the whole point. So we, because if it wasn't for the Son of Man, we all would die, man.
okay, what about those one who was stoning him act like they never seen? All of a sudden,
That was it.
stone and start walking away.
That was his whole purpose.
That's the purpose, because they sinned also. There was a
So why they want to kill the woman when they see?
Because that was part of the law. If your woman commit adultery, she's supposed to be stoned to death.
That's the law.
That's the
Oh,
law.
you want to stone a woman to death and you yourself also sin?
Well, that's what we're gonna read now. Matthew 23.
The book of Matthew chapter 23 verse 1.
This is what Jesus said.
Then spake Yahawashi to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do.
Hear what he said? He said the Pharisees that sit in Moses' seat, whatever they tell you to do it. Because a Pharisee is a doctor of the law. So the Pharisees was teaching you not only the 10 commandments, 613 commandments. Because there was laws on how to keep the land. You see what I'm saying?
That you couldn't plant one land for 10 years. 7 years you plant, then you go to another area because that area needs rest.
There's laws on how to deal with your servants. There's all kind of
There's
laws.
laws of what to eat and what not to eat.
Now I asked you the 10 commandments. You kept saying the 10 commandments. Hold on.
The 10 commandment is very important one. Right?
No, you said,
God himself wrote
listen,
the one with
the whole law God gave to Moses. Now let me tell you this. You keep saying the 10 commandments, brother. I asked you earlier, are you keeping the Sabbath? You said that's not important. So now keep reading. Keep reading.
It says,
This is why Christ came at the Pharisees the way he did also. Read on.
all that laws whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do.
He said, if they tell you keep the law, keep the law. Read on.
But do not ye after their works,
He said, don't follow after them. Why? Read.
for they say and do not.
For they were telling people to keep the law. They were condemning people for not keeping the law. But Christ said they ain't keeping the law.
Right.
So they were what? Hypocrites. They were actors.
My father jumped down to 13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in themselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in.
Because they were actors. So they were trying to kill Mary Magdalene for committing adultery. But they themselves are doing the same thing she was doing.
So that means we can't trust in their word because they wrote the law and they're breaking the law.
They didn't write the law.
Okay.
What did Christ say?
Hold on, I'm going to give you an example. For example, right?
Yeah.
Say, I'm a Pharisee, right?
Right.
I'm a Pharisee. Let the shit go by, man. I'm a Pharisee, right? And I'm saying, my people do not break the law, do not commit adultery.
Right,
Do not
right.
steal, do not rob, etc., right?
Right.
But then, behind closed doors, I'm doing the same thing. I'm being wicked.
Right,
So Christ is
right.
saying, don't be like that nigga right there.
Right,
But
right,
he's
right.
doing the same, don't follow his works. But he's doing the same thing.
So why Jesus had this disciple eating on Passover? Because this guy was talking about Passover. And then they came to him and said, why are you feeding these people in the days of Passover?
What? What scripture are you talking about?
There was a time like
You
the
can eat on the
Pharisees.
Passover.
No?
You can eat on the Passover.
I mean, they was eating leavened bread or something like that. They're not supposed to eat or something.
No, you're talking about the showbread, which was meant for the priests. And they said, why are they doing that on the Sabbath?
Right, they were breaking the law of the Sabbath.
He said the Sabbath, man wasn't created for the Sabbath.
Right.
Sabbath was created for man.
So now
But
Jesus spoke these things.
hold on. Son of man, didn't King David got hungry?
And he gave them example of David. David was hungry on the Sabbath.
Right.
See and then Christ cut him and said, you guys, if your donkey fall in a well on the Sabbath, well, you're not going to try to get it out? You're going to leave it in there because it's a Sabbath? Use common sense. That's what he's saying, man.
Like today. Like the days that I work on the Sabbath.
Right.
I'm supposed to, but
That's where grace and mercy come through.
See, like you don't say that word, use your common sense. You can't say, oh, because this is the law, I'm supposed to obey.
You are supposed to follow it, but in this day and time, you have grace and mercy because the Lord know in this society you can't keep all the laws perfect. That's why you have to have faith.
Right. So we gotta use our common sense to go on against to this law of God. That's it.
No, I ain't saying use your common sense in this law of God. Certain laws you can't keep. That's why you need grace and mercy.
Right. Like you said, for instance, one of the laws, we ain't supposed to shave our beards, right?
But a lot of people shave, right?
Right, that's right. But
because the Most High knows your heart.
Right.
If you're doing it because He know you need a job, that's understandable. But if He know you just doing it for being stylish, then you being wicked.
Right.
If you breaking the Sabbath and you know you don't got to go to work or nothing, you want to hang out with your girlfriend, you being wicked.
Right.
But if you know you need to work and need to provide, then the Most High may allow that. You see what I'm saying?
Like where I work at, I got my beard, I got to shape it up a little bit because the area I work in, it can't be like yours, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, oh no, you can't have that. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? I got to shape it up, look presentable. Okay? That's part of the law. See, that's not the Ten Commandments, is it?
You ever seen a Jesus without a beard? Hold on. Did Jesus have his beard?
Jesus had his beard.
Why?
If it's because the place he's living is
no, not the place he's living.
Leviticus 21:5. That's the law. That's the law, brother.
Kept his beard.
That's the law.
Adapted to that way of life.
It's called the law.
It's the law, man.
I don't think actually it's the law that you must grow beard.
We're gonna read it to you.
It's an adapted
We're gonna read it.
way of life.
Read it.
The book of
the part of that adoption or way of life is called the law. Law is a part of your way of life, man. All right? That's a part of our culture. Law, what the Most High gave. It's not because it was a stylish thing. It was a law. Read that.
The book of Leviticus chapter 21 verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Read.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
Because that's a law right there. Now you can read Leviticus 19, I think, those are the laws of God right there. See, you have your beard.
Well, it's the law of
because you keeping the law right there.
It's the law of God according to their own understanding of themselves.
Read verse 1. We're going to read it for you one last time.
The book of Leviticus chapter 19 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses,
and we're just going to leave it to you like that.
Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel.
God gave the Israelites the law through Moses. So Moses was his messenger. It's called order. Just like you in the army or the navy, they have different ranks. The general don't deliver no messages. They give that to a private to do. Or whoever. Listen, go tell the others, or tell the sergeant, tell your men they need to do such and such. The general is the Most High. Moses will be his captain. And he'll tell him to tell the other men, listen, this is what they have to do. It's called order. Rank and order. You see what I'm saying?
When they took over the Canaan, Canaan. You know what I'm saying? He was giving orders, all right? And they sent spies out, right? Spies did what they had to do, came back. Right. Like I said, it's all about order.
You all order, so you understand it?
Right. Now, that means a man actually living according to their own understanding through God.
No, man, you living through your own understanding.
That's why
no, don't try to play games up there. He's trying to be wise. He's trying to be, brother. You can't outdo a fox, man. All right. The scripture says, Psalm 68:11, and then we're gonna close it out, man. Because you can't be stiff-necked in this thing. You're being stiff-necked.
No, it's not stiff-necked.
You're saying, but God, man, is doing this. No.
Way of life and their own understanding of God.
No.
You know?
No.
The only way we know God is through 10 commandments. There's no other
Listen. You ain't keeping the Sabbath, so don't talk about 10 commandments, man. You ain't keeping the Sabbath, brother.
Keeping the Sabbath doesn't mean like you are...
Keeping the Sabbath is a part of the 10 commandments. You ain't keeping the Sabbath.
Nobody's perfect.
Well, man, ain't perfect, but you ain't keeping the 10 commandments. You never kept no Sabbath, man. So you ain't keeping no 10 commandments. The scripture says if you break one law, you break it all. So you ain't even keeping the basic.
Who the heck is going to be able to keep all the law that God said?
You're supposed to rehearse it.
Now he said all.
Now you say all the law.
Laws now.
Come on, man.
Because
You ain't even keeping the 10, bro. You ain't keeping the 10, man.
Yeah,
What you got?
You ain't keeping one of the 10, man.
What I'm saying, you say that all the laws is come from God, so who
Right.
the heck going to keep all that law?
You're supposed to rehearse the righteous act.
But that's why Christ came in.
Give you grace and mercy. Because he knew we couldn't keep all the statutes and
Right
commandments.
in this world today, that would be impossible.
All right?
The society we live in, it'd be impossible. Not even if I was rich, and it would still be impossible.
That's where the Son of Man came.
That's right.
But what scripture you got on?
The book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 11. The Lord gave the word.
God gave the word. Read.
Great was the company of those that published.
Who made it public? Who made it public? The prophets. That's what Christ said, think not. He said everything that's written in the law of Moses, the Psalms and the prophets, he mentioned the Psalms and he mentioned the prophets. That's all of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? And with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.